So, this... Yeah. This is going to be... So, I think I said this last time where it's going to be a thoughts video, but I'm going to be doing stuff during the video. This never really works out well, because I always get distracted by the game and never really give my thoughts, and so I end up recording something off, like, later. But we'll see how this goes, chat. So, first thing is first. Let's go to Labyrinthian, which I think is here. So, main thing with that is that I have all of the masks that you can have. I'm actually trying to remember. Is it over here? This really doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, so we come here, right? So, yeah, and then we have the one mask that we don't have, right? So we have the one mask left. So we have the missive here, which I don't know why it's there. And I didn't take it, but whatever. So if you come here, apparently, what happens is if you put on the wooden mask... you get taken there. Which is this nice little room that I don't think you can move out of. Are all the chests empty? Yeah, all the chests are empty. Interesting. I've never done this, so. But you have Volsung, Otar, all of the other ones. And this opens up here, and you grab the last one. I'm not sure how you get it. I'm assuming you get out by wearing a different mask. Yeah, okay. So that was basically the one thing that I had left that I didn't know how to do that isn't super important. So starting with my thoughts, because that's going to have to be a thing in this video. So there are a bunch of things I did not interact with. So keep this in mind when you kind of hear me. You know what? Let's at this point, let's turn on God mode because it really makes no difference. Oh, there's a couple things I wanted to do. Oh, this okay. So what I did was this didn't fall. So I think what happens is is a bit weird because it was stolen. So maybe there was a weird tag on the weapon that made it made it fall. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I did is I console commanded myself a new ebony blade that wasn't stolen, obviously. Put it there, got rid of the other one, and this one keeps... So maybe that's the reason why. I could have... Oh, so again, same thing. I gave myself the masks. Because I didn't want to take them out. Oh, and then the wooden mask. I didn't want to take them out and then put them back in and whatever. It doesn't matter that much. But anyway, this... Oh, look, I got the rueful axe. How about that? Isn't it a pretty axe? Oh, look, I also got the Wuthrad and the shield of Ysgramor. Isn't that interesting? Oh, and look, I also had the golden claw and the ebony claw. I also got these. Oddly enough, somehows. We also have... Oh, this completely disappeared now. Well, doesn't matter. So, yeah, so a bunch of things I did not interact with. So let's go... I did not interact with the Civil War quest line. That led me to not be able to get the house in Windhelm. Kind of wish I could buy it, but whatever. I don't necessarily like picking a side because it changes how you interact with the game. And I didn't want to do that this time. It's not... I don't know, it just seems weird. It's not the type of thing I want to do in this playthrough. So, did not interact with the Civil War. Didn't really act too much with the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood. I did those just enough. I did those just enough to get what I wanted out of them. The Thieves Guild to get the Stones of Brins. Oh no, it's not Pinewood I wanted. To get the stones. Oh, it's Lakeview Manor. That's what I wanted. Just to get the stones. Appraised and finish that quest line. Also, the Dark Brotherhood. Oh, I did that quest so I can get into the Dark Brotherhood building to get the last of the stone. The Stone of Barinzia. Bariznia? So, yeah, so that's kind of how that goes. Not really a huge... So that's why. I wasn't really going to interact with him at all, but I kind of had to do that side quest. Drafting table. I don't know how to do this. House? I need sawn, log, and quarried stone. So, moving on. Oh. Oh, 4 clay. Door. Iron fittings. I don't know if... Okay, house. Straw. Straw and a bunch of iron ingots. Okay. Is this already built now, or... Oh, it's everything's built. I don't... Oh, I thought I was going to put it down somewhere. And then there's the AP area over there. Oh, okay. This is not as involved as I thought it was going to be then. Straw. Okay. And then if I go in here, it just looks like a small little house, I guess. Oh, wow. This is very... So, can you... I'm assuming you get here to add more stuff? Remove workbench. Okay, we'll keep the workbench. So how do I put stuff in the house? Oh, you kind of just build it through that way, okay. So, yeah, so the other thing, there's a couple other things I didn't interact with. The Atronach Forge, I didn't really do much with that. I think I did some stuff last... Oh, the game gives you some of the stuff to play with, okay. I did do some of the stuff... Oh. Last time I played... Is this just... Kitchen? Armory? Oh, I see. You can choose... Okay, you can choose different things. You can have a library, a kitchen... a storage? A trophy room? What's that going to be look like? Bedroom? Oh, you can have a trophy room or a bedroom. I don't know if I like that. So if we do greenhouse, so I guess you can have. So let's say we have a storage. And yeah, greenhouse. That's kind of weird. Didn't really interact too much with the Atronach, or at all with the Atronach Forge. Not really a reason for that. I was just focusing on other things. The Atronach Forge does get you a bunch of things that you can't really... Some unique stuff. It gets you, like, some spell tomes that you can't get anywhere else. Like Conjure Strata, Conjure Alade Lich. A few other things. It can get you some gear that you can get, like Daedric gear, as opposed to, instead of either making it or hopefully buying it. It gets you some somewhat... Why is... This is weird. Door? Okay. Oh, and does this... Ah. Glass. So containers... Okay, so you basically tell the game what you want, and it kind of makes it leather strips. Yeah, so I didn't really... It wasn't really something I want to focus on. So... Oh, double bed. Does that mean that... Okay. Okay. So you basically just get all the resource... So it's like a resource dump at one point. At this point. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Goat horns. Okay, well, I'm not gonna grab all of these things. Oh, okay. That's actually not a bad way of doing things. Yeah, oh, yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, the Atronach... Yeah, I didn't really... I don't know why I didn't really interact with it. I was just focusing on other things. The couple things I kind of would have been nice to get are the 2 spell tomes, because I'm a mage. But, meh. I mean, I was fine without it. Probably would have used the spell once and never used it again. So, might not be the most useful thing out there anyway, so. What else? Yeah, Chandelier will take, the fireplace, and everything else is just, it needs... Oh, Quicksilver. Okay, yeah, and then, yeah, that's fine. What else? I didn't really interact with the dragon shouts or the powers either. Like the bound weapons. Bound weapons, because I didn't really want to do melee things. It's kind of like why I didn't really do the bound weapons. Other things I just didn't realize were a thing, like Mara's Boon and that kind of thing. I honestly didn't even know I had them until, like, the very end. Couple of videos ago, or maybe even last video. So I didn't really interact with those. The issue with the shouts is that for me at least, okay. Oh yes, it's actually kind of nice. Oh, and then the cellar. The combat situation. Oh god, there's no. Okay, so. It's super dark for me because it's bright outside, so... oh, is there no... workbench? Here for this? Oh, yeah, here it is. The combat situations are... Oh, cool. Are so small. Not so small. So short that casting the conjuration or destruction spells was enough for me, and it didn't really, like, oh, steel ingots. I didn't really think about using the shouts, and even if I did, it wasn't really worth it, because the fights were over quickly anyways, right? Using the shouts would have just made things, would have slowed down the combat, because Lydia and, like, eventually when I got them, the Dremora and Lydia were strong enough to take care of everything. A shout would have just slowed it down because it would have like attacked them as well. So like Unrelenting Force would have like strewn them about in the same way as it would have messed around with the enemies. So it just slows everything down at that point, and it's not really worth. Oh, cool. It wouldn't. Oh, amethysts and other things. Oh, you can get the amulets. There is a reason to get the amulets, to get your shrines done. Cool. Wall sconces? Yeah, horns. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. I kind of, you know what? I kind of like this. I don't want to say, oh shoot, I regret not interacting with this, but it's because I don't think I missed too much by, and you get stuff. It actually gives you stuff. Interesting. Oh, you can put fish in here. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Yeah, I don't want to say I don't regret not interacting with. So okay, I'll keep saying that. There's yeah, so that's why I didn't really use the shouts, because it slowed stuff down, or like when I thought about it, or honestly for the most part I didn't even think about using them, because just interacting with the magic and the conjuration and Lydia or what have you was enough. Was perfectly functional, fairly efficient, so I didn't feel the need to use shouts. You know, oh, shoot, whether it would be faster or not, I didn't even think about it. It wasn't top of mind when I was fighting. This is the last thing I didn't interact. Oh yeah, shit ton of side missions. The main reason I didn't do a lot of those was just for repetition, right? Like you do one. You do, like, how many dungeons can you do before it becomes repetitive, right? That's kind of the main reason for that. That's cool. And then obviously here there is the, I think that's it, yeah? Okay. And I guess if you decide to change things, oh yeah, that's gonna stay there because there's some stuff I didn't get. Okay. There's some stuff yeah, the Hearthfire. Oh yeah, here. That's just because building stuff in the way like the Minecraft building, I didn't feel like I needed to interact with it. Now that I know it's like that, I don't regret not doing it, but I kind of wish I had interacted with it a bit more, because there would have been a lot more time for me to do stuff. Although it would have, getting weird stuff like the goat horns, I don't know how much I would have wanted to deal with that. But I mean, look, it would have been an interesting, would have been a little bit more like interesting stuff to do. It's like it's an extra house you can deal with. Okay, so that's nice. And then I think there's Golden Hills that is roughly the same thing. So yeah, so overall, the stuff I didn't interact with, I don't necessarily regret not doing. I either have done it before, or I didn't feel like doing it in this playthrough because... Oh, 3 firewood. Okay, I need a ton of firewood, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we can do this. Yeah, it's just I didn't... Yeah, I didn't really feel like it... I wanted to, or I needed to. This is kind of like a little bit... I mean, it's obviously a lot more of a time sink, because... It's a massive... Oh, you can actually build a house for them instead of them just a campfire. Oh, that's neat. And they're in the house, I guess? Oh.
Didn't think I'd be seeing you. Very good, ma'am.
Wait, why are you doing that? It's a resource sink, it's a time sink, but I guess it's nice to have.
You're looking hale. Certainly. What did you have? I'll keep an eye out. Is there anything else you need? Certainly. What did you have in mind? I'll see to it at once. Is there anything else you need? Certainly. What? I'll see to it.
This is also super interesting. No, that's fine.
All right.
That's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, the horse is there. Wait a couple days. Okay, let's just wait a couple days then. Yeah, this I kind of wish maybe I had started. It's not a really big deal I didn't do, because now I see how it is, and it would just be an extra home to fill up with gear, and so that's neither here nor there. That's fine. So those are the, keep in mind, yeah. So keep in mind that, yeah. Oh yeah, and I think I said that there's tons and tons of side missions. I didn't do those because it's repetitive. I'm sure some of the stories would be interesting to justify the side mission, but
watch over. Very good, ma'am.
442. Oh, I want to take some Crimson Nirnroot and then plant them all here as well. Well, whatever. Yeah, I guess it's not really a bunch of things like that. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of it for... Yeah, so, okay, so if that's mainly Hearthfire... I think Hearthfire also introduced... adoptions, which I interacted with that a little bit, with Lucia. I wanted to adopt the other kid, but whatever. Kind of weird that you can't adopt a kid in here. I'd bring Lucia here if, although there's a, yeah, I'd bring Lucia here if it was available, but I don't think there's, I guess technically there's a, I wonder if you can. Well, not that big of a deal. Yeah, okay, so I guess the rest is just going to be me not being distracted just by looking at all of this stuff here. So, cons. I'll start with the cons. The main issue I have with the game, honestly, are the fucking dragons. Are the dragons. They are brutal. It wouldn't be so bad if there just weren't so many. And here's my reasoning for this, right? Generally in the game, like, I punched Belethor in the face. I used console commands. I did everything I could to give myself coins and some other resource, and well, basically just coins. But if you're actually playing the game as intended, the game is actually fairly conservative with a lot of its resources. The game throws gems at you. It throws gear at you. It throws like jewelry and circlets and rings, and like, it throws so much stuff of value at you. But converting that value into usable resource like coins is extremely conservative. The amount of cash that vendors have on hand is very limited. Even like early game, you go into a dungeon, if you were to take all of the jewels and the gems that and the rings and stuff that the game gives you, go to a vendor, you're not going to be able to sell everything, right? So the game is actually fairly conservative in its resources. Same thing with a skill progression. Skill progression is very easy in this game. It's just very slow to get. Well, there's a curve to it, but the idea is if you want to get to level 100, it's very slow. It's just very grindy. But, oh, shoot, that's right. Hey, Kessler! Basically giving my thoughts on Skyrim, and then probably stop or move on to something else. Hope you enjoyed 325 yesterday. And I hope your weekend was good overall. Yeah, Lost Frequencies was insane. It was super good. But I got back home. It's 4 p.m. now. I got back home at like 5 a.m. So I've been home for less than 12 hours. Yeah, so as I was saying, useful resources. Yeah, cache is super slow. Skill progression is easy. There is a curve in it slows down as you go higher, but skill progression is fairly conservative. Like, you're not going to get smithing up unless you grind for it. You're not going to get alchemy up unless you grind it. You're not going to get these skills up unless you grind them. Same thing for the skill perks. Please continue. I was loving what you were saying. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So, yes, like I said, dragons, the cache is fairly conservative. The skill progression is fairly conservative. Skill points are very conservative. You have to level up a particular skill a bunch of times before you level up yourself to be able to get a skill point to put somewhere else. So you're always chasing more cash. Again, assuming you're playing the game legitimately, right? Like I totally did. Assuming you're not exploiting magic or some sort of skill progression bug, it's very hard to get a skill to level 100. It's extremely grindy to get to level 100. You're not going to be able to level up all your skills, all your skill trees. So you're fairly conservative and you're fairly limited in how you can allocate your skill points. But then why the fuck am I playing the game and finishing the game with... That was weird. Oh, the game break? There's no more music. Well, whatever. It'll make it quiet for it'll make it quiet for me when I'm talking. Oh no, the music's starting again. Yeah, so why the fuck do I have 48 dragon souls? And I don't have all of the shouts, but I've maxed out all the shouts I have in terms of redeeming dragon souls to upgrade the shouts, right? Why the hell do I have, like, why do you fight dragons so much in this game? So you have all of these, so you have all the shouts that you can use, but yet cash and skill progression and skill and a couple other things are fairly conservative in like, it just seems weird. And the fact that I just want to go from point A to point B, but I can't because there's a stupid dragon there is really annoying. You can't really run away from a dragon because they do a lot of damage, and they chase you, right? But then sometimes when you're fighting them, they get distracted. Like, if I'm fighting a dragon just outside Hendrheim, it gets distracted by the Falmer right next door for some weird reason, and or you get it down to like a third health and it fucks off across the map. So you've just lost 5 minutes because it keeps flying around all the time, and it doesn't land up until you get Dragon Rend, but you get Dragon Rend fairly late in the game. So if you don't have Dragon Rend, you just kind of hope that it lands, and then you fight it and you hope it doesn't fly away and you hope it doesn't get distracted. So there's a lot of wasted time if you're just wanting to go from here to there. There's a lot of wasting time fighting dragons. Like fucking 48 dragon souls, and that's the spare ones I have, right? It doesn't count the ones I already unlocked. I already used up by unlocking the shouts. So that to me, that's the most annoying thing in the game. It was the thing that slowed down the game the most. It was the thing that I never wanted to do ever. And like I said, the thing that's so weird is that if you're always fighting for cash, if you're always fighting for skills and skill points, why the hell are you not always fighting for dragon souls? I'm guessing they do that. Bethesda does that either because the game is glitchy and it just throws dragons at you way too often, even though it was coded not to do that, or they are very much incentivizing you to start using all of the dragon shouts. by making sure you have more than enough Dragon Souls. But again, as far as game design goes, why are you limiting everything else but not limiting Dragon Souls? It's just a bit of a weird thing. So that was kind of annoying. I think I bitched about the skill tree way too much in the playthrough. Like the speech skill tree, I think I bitched about way too much in the playthrough. I think that the skill trees are generally fine. Some of them are a bit samey, right? Like the one-handed and two-handed are I think essentially the same, but just, for one-handed things and for two-handed things. The magic skill trees will usually have something fairly similar, like longer conjuration, longer alteration, two-handed casting, that kind of thing. But I don't really have too many issues with the most of the skill trees. I think they're fine. They're not astounding, but they're fine. They're functional. The fucking speech skill tree definitely needs to be reworked. And again, the issue I had with vendors having so little cash comes into this, because the first skill, the tier 1 skill, the first skill you get in the speech skill tree is the we can just do this and look at the map, I guess. The very first, so I can show you what I'm talking about. The very first thing you get in the speech skill tree is something that gets you better prices. So when I buy stuff, it's cheaper, and when I sell stuff, I get more money. But remember what I said from the beginning of the game throws jewels and gems and jewelry at you. And so what the fuck does it matter if I'm selling stuff for more money if Belethor is limited to 750 gold until you get all the way up here to tier 4 at level 70, right? By the time you get the skill to speech level 70, this is like at least mid-game, and there's no way the extra 500 gold that a vendor will get is going to be any kind of useful for the amount of crap that the game throws at you. So it just, and it's a tier 4 skill, right? So you have to invest a lot of skill points, right? 1, 2, 3. You have to get, at least three or four skill points before you can get to investor. That's a lot of investment just to get an extra 500 gold, which essentially does nothing in the game. And then to get 1,000 gold more, you need to get 100. So you need to get your speech up to 100. I've played the game for, I don't know, it was 150 hours or whatever. I've sold so much shit to so many vendors. I've used Persuade every time I could. I've used Intimidate a couple times because I got I've used the speech options throughout the game, and I still don't have speech 100. So there's no way this 1,000 gold will make any kind of difference if I'm wanting to sell stuff. So the skill tree really needs to be, I think the economy could be fine, but I think the skill tree needs to be worked around. Like the investor perk absolutely has to come down to tier 2. Haggling should probably be like 5% instead of 10%, just to be a little bit more balanced around the fact that you get no money for selling all the stuff that the game throws at you. So that needs to be reworked a bit, right? So that's a little bit, a lot less a lot more minor, I guess. It's a lot less important than fixing the dragon issue, but yeah, that's something else I didn't really care for. the fact that they have sold. Thankfully, I'm playing on PC, so I can just console command as much money as I want if I want to sell crap. So, but like the thing also comes down to, like, what am I gonna buy? I bought the outside the houses, because the other thing also, like, this is not really this is just an observation, right? But the game throws so much gear at you that other than maybe buying arrows, that some arrows that are harder to find, or you can always just craft your arrows as well, right? But other than like buying very specific things, your buying stuff is going to be a lot less than your selling. And so so even if I did get, even if you do get better buying prices with this, like I don't know how much it would help, right? So, I I think overall it's fine. It's just a bit of the economy. I mean, it's a Bethesda game, right? The economy is a bit funny anyway. But overall I think it's okay. It's not. It's just small little nagging things. I'm also not okay. I'm also very aware that my build was absolute crap when it came to defense. Right? All my stuff. Why did I have the wooden mask? I had the wooden mask. Well, doesn't matter. Here, we can give you the wooden mask. Oh, we can't give you the. Can I wouldn't give you the wooden mask? There you go. Perfect. Very well aware that my gear is very low armor comparatively compared to, say, Lydia. But you get these random enemies that are like enemies supposed to scale generally to your level, but you randomly get these enemies in certain dungeons you enter that are extremely powerful, and I don't understand why. It's a bit of a weird thing because unless you're trying to not get hit at all, you walk into a dungeon, you don't know if the enemy is going to be super weak or super strong. I don't necessarily think that all enemies should be the same, like, you know, should be the same level and you should survive everything. But, like, I don't know, on normal mode, I have like 100 and something, I guess I have 135, 35, 36. There's 106 armor. 107 armor. Whatever it is. I don't know if I should get one shot. Right? If it's a crit, if it's a shot in the face, a crit shot, fine. But if I get shot in the elbow, I don't know if I should die out of that. Again, understanding that my overall armor is very low. But that just is a weird thing I found. Like when you enter a dungeon, you don't know if it's going to be overpowered or underpowered compared to you. A little bit of a strange thing there. There's also a shit ton of bugs that are kind of annoying. Now, I also understand that if they fix the bugs, they also probably fix the jank, and I do like the jank. So it's kind of like a weird, like a balancing act. But like this one of those things where, like, the fact that this always fell, right? Whenever I walked in, is kind of weird. The fact that this type of thing happens, right? You kind of get rid of that, but like he doesn't wear that. Like the fact that this type of thing happens and it shouldn't happen is, I don't understand. Like, it's kind of a weird thing. And the fact that the worst part of all of this is the UASP, the unofficial patch, the unofficial community patch, fixes a lot of these issues. And so it can't be that hard to fix like that bug where the mannequin just like has a new ebony armor out of it. It can't be that hard to just code a couple extra lines so that this doesn't fall, right? It can't be that hard to do some of these things. There's also some times where the controls were not responsive, where I wanted to attack and like my hands wouldn't show up, so I couldn't cast anything. There's also, what else? Oh yeah, the quest items you can't get rid of. I did go get rid of them because console commands, but the black books, the quests are done. Like, I've finished the black books quest, but I can't get rid of the black books from my inventory. Now, because they're quest items, they don't really take weight, but they create clutter, right? And also, it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard to add a few lines of code or to fix those lines of code to be able to stash them in a drawer somewhere or on shelves. It would be really fun to see all the black books on shelves, like right next to each other. So like this is, you know, kind of weird things for that. Also compared to like similar to that is the anniversary edition is fun because it added a whole bunch of new like it added Hendrheim, it added Golden Hills, it added... Oh, no, Golden Hills I think may have been... I don't know if Golden Hills was a mod or it was part of Hearthfire. But whatever. Doesn't matter. The Hendrheim, you have Murwatch, you have a whole bunch of you have the Tundra... Where is it? Tundra Homestead. But the thing is, that like the thing... Oh, and Bloodchill Cavern somewhere up here, wherever... I like the fact that they added those, but what I don't like is the fact that every one of the DLC houses has plaques for the same gear, right? It has, they all have the masks, like the masks, like the busts for the masks. They all have spots for the claws. They all have plaques for Uriel's bow. They all have places for certain shields, or like the same shield. Like, so in an anniversary, like, why not just have different gear in different houses, just to have something different, right? Oh, also, why not add DLC gear? Because I don't think any of the DLC gear has specific plaques. So it's a bit of a weird thing there. The one thing you can say is that, well, I want Uriel's bow in Tundra Homestead, but the plaque for it is in Hendrheim. So okay, fine, I can understand that. But then how about just have a place to put Uriel's bow, but if you want to put a different bow, there's a pop-up that says, hey, this is a specific spot for Uriel's bow, are you sure you want to put something else instead? You're like, yes, I want to put this other bow instead, so that I can put Uriel's bow somewhere else, and then fill, you know, put Uriel's bow in Tundra Homestead, and then fill Uriel's bow spot with a different bow, or a different weapon in Hendrheim. Like, this is a very big missed opportunity. It just... The Anniversary Edition was very sloppy, very low effort, and this just kind of... Bathesda, please. Right? Bathesda, please. So, right, there's these things that would have taken a little bit more work, like a few more lines of code, but it would have been, I think, a lot better experience as opposed to what it is now, which is just kind of just take the mods as they are, shove them in the game, and don't do anything with them. Just make sure they kind of work. But even then, they don't really work, because there's some mods that there's some things that I think I had to console command in or out. So some mods don't even work properly in here. This is not a mod, but I end up I remember in Markarth, if you talk to the steward, and the steward has the main story dialogue and the side mission dialogue, if you do this, if you finish the side mission first, you don't get the main mission dialogue to finish the main mission, or some weird shit like that. But that also applies to some of the other, like some of the DLC, some of the Anniversary Edition stuff as well, I'm pretty sure. So it's just a bit of a sloppy thing. But this is Bathesda. It's recent Bathesda, so... Well, relatively recent Bathesda. So you can't, you know... It's a complaint about... I think there's a complaint about Bathesda more than the game. So, there you go. That's a con, but it's a Bathesda con, not a game con. As far as pros go, like things I liked about the game, essentially everything else. Right? It took me a long time to talk about dragons and the speech skill tree and the other things, but those are the dragons you interact with more than anything else. So I guess you might interact with vendors as well, but anyway, point is that everything else, they're fairly minor overall, right? The rest of the game is fantastic. I said a shit ton of times that it's basically the perfect open world RPG for me, because when you finish with Helgen, and you end up going to, like, you leave the cave, you finish the tutorial area, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever mission you want, you can start getting whatever gear you want, you can run anywhere in the map that you want, you can start leveling up whatever skill you want. There's not really any limitations to what you can do in the game. So you're perfectly free to do basically anything you want, which is fantastic. The variety in everything you want to do The flexibility in everything you want to do is absolutely fantastic. The combat is a bit janky, right? But it's Bethesda janky. It's not like Skyrim janky. It's Bethesda janky. So again, not necessarily a criticism of the game itself, but more of like how Bethesda makes their games. But the fact that, okay, so combat's a bit janky, but you can use one-handed weapons, you can use two-handed weapons, you can use bows, you can use staffs, you can use magic. And magic, you have destruction, you have conjuration, you have a bunch of different other things you can use. You can use companions to fight the fights for you. So even just in like combat, and it's just one part of the game, even in combat, there's a million different. You can sneak, you can be, you can sneak, you can be head on, you can use a shield if you want, you can just bash with a shield because shield bashing does damage. There's perks in the skill tree, a blocking skill tree to do damage. So there's a million different ways, maybe not a million. There's a shit ton of different ways to do combat, and that combat is just one aspect of the game, right? You can choose. Where did I put that? You can. Where is it? I had it. Oh yeah, so you have a variety in different things you can do, right? And different skills that you can upgrade. If you want to be a smith, you can be a smith, right? Run around, grab a pickaxe, get all of the ore that you want, and then smith it, and then make, I don't know, just make necklaces and rings and things if you want. You can make your own armor if you want. You can be an alchemist. I was a fairly decent alchemist in this game, in this playthrough. You can make all of the potions that you want. You can focus. I wanted to focus more on potions. I just never used them because I'm an idiot. But you can do all the alchemists. You can be an enchanter. You can just take gear and enchant it instead, instead of looting or scavenging. Like the possibilities, the variety in anything you want to do is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so the RPG elements are also great. I mean, look, speech skill tree aside, the RPG elements are fantastic. All of the things I've already said, right, are part of the RPG elements. The first thing you do is you start in the back of a cart, but you pick your race, and each race has a different perk, as a different bonus. So you start with RPG right away, right, and then you build your character however you want, with whatever weapon you want, with whatever magic you want. Amazing choice. Like I said, as soon as you leave the tutorial area, you can go do whatever you want. So, like I said, insane flexibility. There's so much lore, right? This is the fifth this came out before Elder Scrolls Online, so this is the fifth Elder Scrolls game, I think, unless there's like small ones I don't know about. So there already was history before this, but the amount of books, the amount of environmental storytelling, the amount of character, the amount of history, you learn through characters, is insane. Is incredibly fun, incredibly interesting, very deep, very lore. The world building is great, right? I didn't do much with the Civil War, but right, you have Stormcloaks and the Imperials, and then eventually you get to choose. You get to change the world, kind of, in that it doesn't, it practically doesn't really do much, because people still interact with you in the same way, but you can kind of flip territories throughout the main story, which is kind of interesting. I know I said I didn't want to do the Civil War because it changes how you interact with people, but still, it's part of the main story, so it's I guess it's fine. A lot of fun characters. Some of them are super wacky, some of them are dumb, some of them are silly, some of them are a bit more serious. And everybody has, like, so many NPCs have so many stories to tell. They all have their past. So very, like, the world building is absolutely insane. The world design is also really fun. The map is massive. It's incredibly dense. I think this map has something like 200 dungeons you can go through. And that does not include the DLC. So I think this is just the base game has about 200 different dungeons you can go through. There's some stuff I didn't even, like, where was it here? I didn't even discover the Snap Leg Cave. There's probably more stuff I didn't discover. So and I've been playing for, I don't know, like I said, 150 hours or whatever. So it's incredibly rich, incredibly dense, very well made. The main story is fine, but I don't think anybody ever plays a Bethesda game because they want to be enthralled by the main story. The fact that you are a special person, you're Dragonborn, whatever, that's in every Bethesda game, I think, starts the same way, where you start as a lowly thief or criminal or something, and then you become the one. So there's nothing special, like nothing new in the story, but it tells its story well enough. It takes you to a bunch of different areas in the game, and so you get to experience a bunch of different areas, and you can explore. It kind of forces you to go to different places, to look around, to explore. So that's actually a lot of fun. As you're exploring, you're not really penalized for doing something or not doing something. There's some exceptions to that. Like, I wasn't able to get Hurim because I didn't do the Civil War quest. Some side quests will force you to do something, right? Like the Boita calling, you have to sacrifice people. The where is it? Some of the Daedra quests that they give you, you have to listen to them, or you have to do what they say. You can't tell them to fuck off and then piss them off. You can do, well, see, the weird thing is also is that you can do that in some missions. Like the one, I forget which one, but the one on top of a mountain, you can tell the guy to piss off, and then when you leave, you get attacked by some Dremora. But then for the one in Markarth, you're kind of forced to find the guy and kill him. It's kind of like, well, it's weird inconsistency in the mission design. But overall, there's a shit ton of variety in the mission designs, right? Most missions are basically go over here and kill this dude. But the stories that get you there are all very different. A lot of fun. Like I said, there's a shit ton of dungeons, caves and crypts and houses and everything. If you want to, like, I love, you saw me, I love exploring, I love looting, and this game is, 120 hours of looting and exploring and like 20 hours of story. So I was very happy with that. Yeah, I don't think there's any. I mean, look, there's interesting political stuff going on in the world there. You can interact with it if you want to. You can you can kind of stay away, like I did in this, in this playthrough. Oh, you also have, I didn't mention this before, but you have a ton of different companions you can choose from, which is pretty cool. You can adopt a bunch of different kids if you want to do that. There's so much stuff to do in the game. You're gonna find stuff that you like to do, right? If kind of you just want to go into each of your house, take a look at what needs to be filled up, and then just go fill up just because and do nothing else, you can do that. If you want to just go through your quest log and just do nothing but the quest logs and talk to other people, like, you can do that. Like, it's yeah, like I guess it comes down to the variety and the flexibility that you have in the game is absolutely fantastic. There's not really a lot of games that give you this type of freedom and flexibility from the start, right? Like, a lot of games will have this southeast area be level 1, and then this is level 3, and then this is level 10, and this is level... So you're kind of forced to kind of go a particular route. This game doesn't do that, right? You leave Helgen if you want to go all the way the fuck to Solitude just because you can, right? Like, it's... I like that. I like that freedom. I like that flexibility. I like that possibility. And yeah, so like I said, it's essentially, for me, it's essentially like the perfect open world RPG. There's not really many games like it that have these mechanics, that have this freedom, and I appreciate that. It's not one of my favorite games ever, right? I'll be clear. I praise it to no end. It's not one of my favorite games ever, because, again, you get annoyed by dragons. The story is okay. You get a lot of jank and bugs that you might not want. It's not the most polished game, but it's a ton of fun to play. Right, so like out of this playthrough, I tend to try to do something different every time I play through a game, and so in this playthrough, I played through as a mage. I never did that before. I think the only time I used magic in previous playthroughs was just to heal, if I didn't have potions. So, but this is like even like as a minor, like a mage, like a something slash mage, or no. This is the first time I'm playing as a mage, and it was a lot of fun. It was overpowered at first, but as the enemies get stronger, you kind of have to be more careful again, because you get these random strong enemies that one-shot me, so you have to be a bit careful how you play. But yeah, it's super fun to play. What else did I do? This is the first time I did a bunch of missions I'd never done before. I don't think I've ever completed the vampire DLC before. I think I started it once or twice, but I again, distracted by that, all of that, I never got back around to it. So I think this is the first time I actually finished the Vampire DLC. I did a bunch of other quests, like the Stones of Barinzia quest. I never finished, I don't think. Yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, yeah, new stuff. It's the first time I'm using Companion. So Lydia was hilarious, but also invaluable, right? Yeah, so yeah, Lydia was amazing. She was frustrating, but also the best companion I could ever want. It's kind of cheesy to say, but yeah. And so I did all these new things, a bunch of stuff I never did before. Played as a mage, which I'd never done before in this game, at least. Tried different things, tried new things. Yeah, yeah, I think I'll stop the thoughts there. Yeah, it's an hour worth of thoughts, so not bad there. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Is anything else that I missed before I leave, or before I stop this? Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Very, very fun game. Obviously, you probably played it, but if you haven't and you like fantasy games, then go for it. If you like RPG and fantasy, then definitely go for it. Be aware of the jank, but the jank has its charm. So yeah, so that's it for Skyrim. I'll be playing something else soon. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next playthrough.